First, to give you a sense, I'm standing in Tehran. What you see behind me is that life goes on as normalcy. So it gives you a sense that regardless of whatever that is the US has claimed, life is going on as per normalcy, and people seem to be unbothered. It hasn't had much of an effect on the people of Tehran, particularly, or the capital city of Tehran, that ways. But how are the authorities responding? Well, the authorities have said that this is a sheer violation of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding that was inked on the 17th of July, 17th of June, or the 16th of June, in fact, and that this is something that will have graver consequences. Now, we have seen reports, something that Iranian side is yet to deny, that there has been multiple drone strikes that have been reported. The IRGC affiliated Mehr News has cited, and First News have cited, that the IRGC is responding, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is responding appropriately, quote unquote, and that decisively as well. So we're seeing that there is minimal round of escalation being held, and escalations, counter escalations, with the hope and with mediators now stepping in. Essentially, that's what we're given to understand, with the hope to defuse the recent round of tensions. Leila?
So the strikes happened despite funeral ceremonies underway. So have Iranian officials, do you think, provided any assessment of the damage or casualties, particularly after reports that civilians areas are also affected?
At this point of time, the focus is right now on the funeral ceremony. You rightly mentioned the mortal remains of the late Supreme Leader have been moved to Iraq, in Najaf. Last night they arrived in Najaf, and then there will be a funeral prayer to be held in Najaf, followed by one in Karbala, and then the body would be moved back to Iran in Mashhad, where he will be laid to rest. So at this point of time, we have not heard from any Iranian side or officials or authorities with regards to any casualty count, but what we're given to understand is that there has been unprovoked, or what the officials maintain, unprovoked attack in Sirik, Kishim, Bandar Abbas and Bushehr. It's a horizontal strip that has been attacked in 4 different parts, with the Iranian officials maintaining that an appropriate response is underway. Yes.
So what security measures do you think are, in place across Tehran and in other key cities? And is there concern about further escalation?
Yes, there is concern about further escalation, but again, this sort of escalation lays the perfect ground for mediators to step in and give a ground to hold more talks. Talks not for the sake of it, but talks that would have a derived outcome. And I think that is what the focus is right now on the part of the mediators. On part of security, as I said, the more focus right now is with regards to the funeral procession and the funeral ceremony, the multi-day funeral ceremony that continues to be underway. The mortal remains of the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei will be brought back to Iran later today from Iraq, and they will be brought to Mashhad, where eventually he will be laid to rest tomorrow. So the focus continues to remain to ensure that the security arrangements around that, and particularly in Mashhad, and that there is no untoward security incident when the funeral ceremony or the burial ceremony takes place. Yes.
And so how are Iranian officials viewing these latest strikes on the Islamabad Memorandum, and what message are they sending to the United States and the international community?
Well, they've been asking the international community to step up, to have a more concentrated and a cautious approach to see for themselves as to who has been violating. But the recent skirmishes with the reported attacks on ships and maritime lanes, and then the counter-attacks, it is indeed a clear and blatant violation of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. And both sides have been accusing each other, but as I said, this gives the perfect space for the mediators to step in and fill in that void, fill in that trust deficit, so that talks can be held and a negotiated settlement can come out, so that the skirmishes or the recent hostilities can come to a halt.